When we think of drones, most of us think of something that's just entertaining and fun. Put a camera onto it and we can take wonderful sweeping panoramic pictures of our holiday or our suburbs, or maybe, as a lot of people are using it now, as a replacement for fireworks on a special occasion, as hundreds of drones get into the air and put up wonderful light formations at night. There's a lot more uses for drones than just entertaining. My name's Graham Codrington and welcome to ThrowForward Thursday, where we jump into the future and see what's going on there. And sometimes, like today, we discover that the future is already here. Because of course, drones are now being made much bigger, much stronger, and that is allowing them to have many more applications in our world. For example, in emergency services, a lot of firefighters are now using drones to take hoses up to high-rise buildings or to fly cameras over areas that are have got wildfires in them, to not just look at the wildfires, but also these days to drop chemicals and water onto them as well. In the Netherlands, for a number of years now, they've been experimenting with putting a defibrillator onto a drone, and if somebody is having a heart attack or some other medical emergency, the drone can fly out in advance of an ambulance getting there and at least not just give emergency equipment, but also put the people on the scene of the incident in touch with a medical professional via cameras and videos. I suppose that didn't really need a drone, but of course the drone gets the medical equipment there. It's also being used to keep swimmers safe from sharks, as you put a drone up with a little bit of tracking technology in it that maybe has a look for sharks or other dangers lurking in the sea. I'm going to put links to all of these stories into the show notes or into the notes of the video if you're watching there. Just the list goes on and on. We could spend an hour or more just throwing examples of the use of drones. To give you a few more, drones are being used in agriculture, again to do surveys of large farms, but also to deliver farming equipment and in some cases chemicals and watering of certain specialist farm and agricultural environments. Drones are being used not just at sports stadiums where they get that wonderful high view of the sports field, or literally swooping around during the action in order to get an in the ground feel, but also to actually hold mobile cell phone stations so that those people using mobile phones at large gatherings are not overwhelming the ground-based base stations that are there, but you can add extra capacity for Wi-Fi and data centers as well. In auditing, you might not have thought that we could use drones there, but drones are being used to fly through big warehouses, and again with tracking technology being able to do stock counts and look at facilities in order to make sure that they are all as reported on the balance sheet. Exactly what auditors need to do. The final illustration I'll give you, because I do think we also have to be aware that drones are being used by the military. Yes, of course, we've known those big hellfire from the sky drones that are used by some of the world's militaries. We've known about those for a while. But even small drones that are used by normal individuals are now capable of, well, both swarming in order to provide a military offensive, or as what happened recently in the Ukraine-Russia war, where a drone was actually flown onto a Russian plane and carrying a bomb, and the bomb was detonated. So wow, there is a lot for you to have a look at and a lot for you to think about in terms of a variety of industries that can use drones now, and of course more and more of these are going to open up in the future. Lots of opportunities and a few threats from the future of drones and flying machines of various sizes filling our skies. We're going to come back next week, as we do now in Season 3 of ThrowForward Thursday, and talk about how you might apply the ideas of drone technology to your industries. And even if you think that you can't use drone technology, maybe I'll convince you that there is some application as we come back next week. So make sure that you check in again next week for some of the application of this. But for now, today, as always, thank you for joining me in the ThrowForward Thursday as we expand our mind to think about all the ways in which these little flying machines might fill our skies and change our lives and our industries. Thanks as always for joining me, and I'll see you again next week for some more application.